Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Good evening. It's 5 o'clock. Well, all right. Hello. Well, almost 5 o'clock. Let's see. It is 5 o'clock on the dot right now. All right. So I am going to do a free gut health webinar right now. And I have to turn off my sound because it's echoing. I don't know if it's echoing on your end, but give me 1 second here. Go back here. All right, let's see. Back here. There we go. All right, let's see. Back here. There we go. All right, let's see back here. Okay, apparently I have to mute myself because I can't hear myself. If you have any questions throughout this webinar, please put them in the chat. I am recording this, and so this will also be on, oh, let me turn my camera on there. There we go. There I am. Hello, everybody. So I am Tavia Morris Salvadolina, and I'm a functional nutritional health coach, if you don't know who I am. And I'm also a holistic health and wellness specialist, focusing on root cause. And the reason every month I do a free webinar, if you don't know this already, next year you'll see more of me. Even every month I'm going to try to do a topic of interest. Last month it was hormones. We'll probably do that one again because that was a really hot topic. But my goal is just to educate. And if you want to expand more, work with me at the end or have questions, I offer free consultations. We'll talk about that at the end, but this is by no ways or means, I'm not selling you anything right now. This is all about, this is not an MLM. This isn't anything like that. This is 100% free information for you to take nuggets of the information, whatever you want out of this, and apply it to your life. My whole reason for doing these, again, is to educate. And there's a lot of misinformation. I hate that word, actually. Not misinformation. There's information out there that is not being put out to you, and people that are suffering from chronic illnesses and chronic diseases and things like that. And my own personal journey with gut health. So if you have been going through a lot with your gut health, this is going to be for you. Oops, we don't want that. So this is why I want to do this and do these webinars, because I feel like there's important information that is being missed. Okay. So first of all, just getting the most out of this workshop. If you are listening to this, turn off everything in the background, things like that. I hope everybody can hear me okay. I would be really sad if you could not. Hear me okay. I would be okay. It is coming through. I do hear it on the other end. So turn off silence phones, everything like that. And also, if you do attend this, if you put in the chat below, or if you can say, I watched the replay, tell me you watched the replay below. But let me know, because there is a gut health workbook that I will send to you for free for just watching this. Okay. So again, just a little bit about me. I'm a functional nutritional practitioner, holistic health and life coach, certified wellness coach. I've been in business for 5 years now. I'm a Lyme disease survivor as well. That is what brought me to this journey, because of going 10 years undiagnosed. After going through my own struggle and going to doctor after doctor, I realized that there is something better out there. There's got to be answers. There's got to be people that can listen and help. And there are. And so after my own journey, I wanted to turn my mess into my message. And so here we are today. And so now I went back to school after getting my bachelor's degree, and I went back to school for another couple of years. And now I'm sharing the good and sharing with you all the good stuff and bad stuff. the bad stuff turned into the good stuff. And so I want to share with you more good stuff so you don't have to go down the bad road like I did and go 10 years without getting a diagnosis. Okay. So first of all, when it comes to gut health, a lot of times people, their first, I guess, symptom is experiencing like pain, right? Or maybe some diarrhea, constipation. And you don't really think of it at first as a big deal. But it is, and it can be. Now, obviously, we all get constipated at one time. We all get some sort of diarrhea. We eat something bad, whatever. But when it becomes chronic, that's when we go, aha, and we need to look a little deeper and dive a little deeper. When it's extending like a 6-month period, then we need to be a little bit more concerned. And if it's interrupting your days as well. Okay, so also, if you ever found yourself not eating because of how the food might affect you physically, you're one of those people that's kind of like scoping out the bathrooms when you go to different places. That is also a symptom of that we have something going on, a dysbiosis in the gut, something's not right, and we need to maybe take a look into that of what's really going on. And if you've ever been afraid to even leave your house, go for a walk, just do normal things. And if you're feeling lousy at one moment or feeling fine one moment, lousy the next, then that's also a clear indication. Hello, something's not right. We need to take a look at that a little bit deeper. So if you answered yes to any of these, then help is here today. And I'm going to go over a couple of things here that you can maybe start doing now. Just to let you know, this should only be about 20 to 30 minutes time frame. I'm going to go through this pretty fast. But again, you can watch the replay, you can back it up and rewatch if you need to jot some notes down. So again, if you're in the right place, if you want to put your body in working order and get feeling better, that's what we're going to talk about today, is what we can do, what we need to look at, and how we can start doing that. You want to build a stronger immune system. The gut is a huge player in the immune system. If you don't know that, the gut is like your second brain. It's also where all the good bacteria, the bad bacteria can feed. And you definitely need to make sure your gut is in order. If you are getting sick a lot, you need to look at your gut. What is your tummy doing? What is it doing? You might be like, well, I'm fine. Is it really? Are you getting enough probiotics? Are you getting enough good bacteria? You have to look at your gut. That is one thing. Only one thing. There's other things too, but that is one area we need to look at. And that's what we're talking about today. So also, again, just overall improving your digestive system. Maybe you are like, I eat really healthy, but I don't know, like I still have some fatigue. I still every now and then get constipated, stuff like that. Those are still symptoms, guys, of something not going right. So, and everybody has gut bugs. Everybody has parasites. Everybody has stuff in their gut. But when it gets imbalanced from other things that we eat, viruses, bacteria, things like that, that's when we start getting and not feeling well. Maybe you want to feel more comfortable about going out in public. Like I mentioned earlier, you're somebody that definitely looks for the bathroom. I used to be like that because I had chronic gut issues. I don't have that anymore. So that is one thing. So again, what is gut health? We're going to talk more about what actually is gut health. In a nutshell, gut health is feeling good in the tummy region, right? Having a normal bowel movement every day, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 times a day is even better, believe it or not. Feeling well overall, not complaining of gas, bloating, digestion, heartburn, things like that, pain, pain with bowel movements, no bloody stools, things like that. Gut health is overall health. So again, we're going to talk about symptoms of poor gut health. I just kind of named some of those already. We're going to talk about leaky gut. If you've heard about leaky gut, what is leaky gut? And then we're also going to talk about issues related to leaky gut syndrome, LGS. I'm also going to talk about ways to maintain and heal your gut. Yay. And then again, gut health, unpleasant and embarrassing topic it can be, but it shouldn't be. Everybody poops, guys. Everybody poops. Everybody eats. It's a natural process. We eat food, it goes through the digestive system, excuse me, and it has to be excreted out through either the kidneys, through urine or feces, right? That's just part of the human body, and it's biology, it's human anatomy, it's everything. It shouldn't be embarrassing, but it's embarrassing. Like if you have to go out, you're like, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes, right? That's when it can be very embarrassing and not so fun. So again, gut health, belching, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, pain. Those are like the top 5 symptoms that most people experience first when that is a symptom, excuse me, as my air quotes, of basically a symptom of the gut being out of balance, if you will. So now one time, you may eat something, you may experience that. Maybe you go to the county fair or something like that, and you experience an upset tummy the next day because you had a bunch of greasy food. That's not your norm. That's understandable. You ate bad or something like that. It's when it becomes constant and when it's like every single day, right? For an extended period amount of time. That's when we need to look a little bit deeper. So here's the thing. Your gut is like a garden. The good plants, good bacteria, yeast, keeps the weeds down, bad bacteria, the good plants are the good bacteria. And then they keep the weeds down also. And we don't want the bad bacteria. The weeds are never completely gone. So we need to make sure we are good, planting those good probiotics, and sometimes they're necessary to get the weeds killed off. Now I want to talk about probiotics really, really quick here. So everybody, you'll see on TV, everybody runs to get a probiotic when their gut's off. That's kind of like the media, mainstream media, and that's what they suggest. Oh, your gut's off. Oh, you have pain and bloating and stuff. Go get a probiotic. It'll solve the problem. Guys, no. I'm here to tell you it doesn't always solve the problem. You need to find out first and foremost why your gut is acting that way. Okay. You're like, well, you can just try it, see if it works. Blah, blah. Sure, you can. But I'm here to tell you, actually, if you have something bad going on there, like SIBO, SIBO, or something more, I'll just say more important going on there, or more critical going on, you could actually do more harm than good. So it's always important to seek out a good probiotic. Have yourself muscle tested with me, see your other practitioner, talk to your doctor. Some doctors don't have a heavy amount of experience in probiotics, and some do. You just need to ask what they know about probiotics. But usually your functional nutritional practitioner, your nutritionist will know more about probiotics. So ask us, okay? And we'll get you the right one. There's also so many different kinds and types. So you need to make sure, okay? Okay, antibiotics. There's probiotics and antibiotics. So if you've been on antibiotics in the last year or so, antibiotics cannot differentiate between the bad bacteria, which may be causing a bacterial infection, and the good bacteria that belong in your gut. So also, you may have heard a lot of times when you take antibiotics that they say take a good probiotic. Yes, that is true. But I'm here to tell you too, you may not, unless there's a certain kind, which I have certain kinds that I recommend. Not all of them can be taken together. You need to take them separately because they will be counterintuitive. So take your antibiotics and then take your probiotics. A lot of times people take them at the same time and it can be counterintuitive. So again, be mindful of your antibiotics and your probiotics, okay? So this can really screw up the gut bacteria. Super, super important. So again, what is good? What is gut health again? We need to put our body into working order. Okay, our gut absorbs nutrients, supports our body's functions, right? Our gut is basically our working system. It's a big system. It does a lot. It also can control the mind. It can also control our emotions. Excuse me one second. It does so much. And gut health is like, I can't even say how important the gut is. It's mucho importante. I'll just say that in Spanish. Very, very, very important. So things that can get in the way of good gut health, processed foods, they're gonna cause inflammation in the lining of our GI tract. So one of the first signs that something bad is going on is you're gonna be bloated, right? You're gonna have excess gas. You're gonna feel uncomfortable after eating and stuff. So this can be inflammation from maybe some of the processed foods you're eating, excess sugars as well. So you really need to pay attention to what you're putting in your mouth. I can't emphasize enough, pay attention to what you're eating. Another thing that can be very irritating is dairy and gluten. A lot of people are like, oh, gluten, you know, that's like a trend, that's a phase or something. No, it's not. It's very real. And so those can also be very inflammatory for people. So be mindful of those things and watch again, those symptoms. And this could be causing some of this inflammation. So if we can cut down some of these foods, you may just see a difference. So that's one of the things you can start doing. Numerous studies in the past 2 decades have demonstrated links between gut health and the immune system, mood, mental health, autoimmune diseases, endocrine disorders like thyroid, skin conditions, and cancer. Okay, so there's a huge link between what the gut does and how the rest of the systems work. So again, if you are experiencing, let's say, chronic depression or anxiety, things like that, one of the first things too that I always look at with my patients is looking at their gut. And I say, what is your tummy doing? And they'll say, well, that's funny you said that. Or you asked that. Why are you asking me that? Because there is a link. We have a vagus nerve that runs from basically the base of our spine all the way up to our spine, I cannot talk, back of our neck. And that's a vagus nerve, and that can get inflamed and irritated, and it can cause stuff up here to go wonky as well, and thyroid as well, and skin. Your skin is your largest organ, okay? And the big C word at the end there, we don't want to even talk about that. So again, what's going on here? Again, symptoms of poor gut health: upset stomach, gas, bloody diarrhea. We know this. These are the symptoms. We don't want them. They can go bye-bye, right? Another symptom of this you may not be aware of is sugar cravings. If you are craving sugar all the time, salt too can be one of them too. There may be something going on with your gut. You may not be absorbing your nutrients. You may not be getting the proper nutrients in your diet. And so that's why your body's craving that to survive. It's craving it for energy. So if you're experiencing any of that, pay attention to that, okay? Another symptom of poor gut health with sugar cravings linked to is a condition called SIBO that I talked about earlier too. Another symptom is weight changes, either gaining weight or losing weight. Those can also be an interruption of the good and the bad bacteria. So if you, in the last month, you've gained or lost weight without trying, this may be like, something's going on there. So we need to look at that further. Another one, sleep disturbances and fatigue. If you are chronically fatigued, there could be a myriad of different reasons why we're fatigued, right? Tons of different reasons why. But, and you're not sleeping right. So I want to say something about sleep and poor gut health. So let's say you go out on a Friday or Saturday night and you go out and you have a couple drinks with the girls or the guys, and you're drinking, not to get drunk, but you had a few drinks, and you go to bed and you're like, oh, I love my wine because it makes me sleep good. And then I guarantee you're probably going to wake up about 2, 3 in the morning. Why is that? And you're not going to sleep a good solid night's sleep because the liver is processing all that alcohol. Where does it go through? Your liver, gallbladder, spleen, everything. It's processing. So that's why, again, poor gut health, we're giving the gut something it doesn't really need. It doesn't really process. And so you're going to have some sleep disturbances. So one of the first tips I can offer to you is if you are a late night drinker, cut it earlier. Maybe don't do it at all. If you need that good night's sleep and are wanting that sleep, don't drink. Don't drink alcoholic beverages, especially late at night or right before bed. Okay. So that can be a hindrance. Eczema, psoriasis. My gosh. So I used to have really bad psoriasis on my elbows for years, and eczema, especially as a little girl. Since I've cut out my gluten and cut all that out and my dairy, I don't have it anymore. So skin issues are a direct correlation of something going on internally. They can be gut issue related, or they can be hormonal related, There's various reasons why gut things can happen. Obviously, if you get in contact with something that's dermatitis, atopic dermatitis. Again, I'm not diagnosing anybody here. So please speak to your doctor. But there's many reasons why skin stuff comes out, but your skin is telling you something. It's an organ. It's saying, I'm not happy. Whatever's in me, I want out. Okay, so we got to look. If your child has eczema issues, look at the gut. Look at balancing the gut. What is going on? Okay, had a little baby in here under a year, and he has some eczema psoriasis issues going on. We did some tests on him, and turns out he did have a dysbiosis in his gut. And so they're working on that. Again, food intolerances and allergies. I mentioned, gluten, lactose. Excuse me one second. Lactose, milk, dairy, things like that. There's a lot of different food allergies. If you are wanting to join, excuse me, if you want to join, if you're wanting to know, sorry, someone said something. If you're wanting to know food intolerances and allergies, I do offer those testing also. But a lot of times food allergies are a secondary component, you guys, to other things going on. So for me, for example, with my Lyme disease, like all of a sudden I was allergic to milk and dairy and everything. And I was like, I grew up on milk and beef and cattle and everything. I had no problems as a kid growing up. So sometimes what happens is when we have a dysbiosis, if we have a bacteria, like Lyme is a bacteria, it was eating my gut. It was making just a mess in my gut. So all the food was like, we don't know what to do with. We don't know what to do with this. So it was causing all these sensitivities, causing leaky gut, all of these things. And well, there you go. It was a perfect storm. So let's see here. So what is leaky gut? I just mentioned that, right? So leaky gut is, oops, everything just fell here. It's also known in increased intestinal permeability. Basically, your garden is messed up. And sometimes people still consider it a medical mystery, but it is not a medical mystery to me. What it is, it means your tummy is basically what's happening is it almost develops what we call like little pockets, not diverticulitis, not diverticulosis, little pockets of where like the bloodstream literally seeps back in through the lining. And then it causes more allergies and more upset and all this and that, right? And so leaky gut is not good. It's not good at all. And we don't want leaky gut. And if you have leaky gut, don't know about leaky gut, we need to look at that. Okay. So let's see here, 1 second here. Okay. So again, dysbiosis. What is a leaky gut syndrome? Dysbiosis, the gut microbiome. It's an imbalance of bacteria in the gut. Bottom line. That's what it is. And so there's the good and the bad, and they're not okay. And they're all just a mess. Okay. So what we do and what I do is help you balance that. You need someone to help you balance that. So say you just, I want to throw something out here. Say that you just had a colonoscopy done and you've had having tummy pains and things like that. And they come back and say, everything is fine. We saw a couple polyps, but nothing big. Okay. And that happens a lot. It's good that you get your colonoscopy when you need to get it done and when the doctor recommends it, or an endoscopy for the upper thing. If you're having heartburn, it's really good to look at the structural things that are going on. Make sure there's no cancers, polyps that are cancerous, things like that, right? But when it comes to the bacteria, what's really going on, guys, they don't check for that, okay? So you got to make sure that that is checked for. So those are the tests that, I do for you and that we can do for you. And look at things, what's really going on in the root level. Do you have overgrowth of mold or fungal overgrowth or bacteria or yeast or candida, parasites, things like that? Those all need to be checked because I guarantee you those are the gut bacteria, the gut bugs that I call, that are causing a lot of these problems and issues. Our food is not good. We don't eat good, guys. We don't really eat good. We try to, but it's just, there's a perfect storm brewing right now. And all of this plays a part in a lot of reasons why people are not well. And the more toxins you put in your body, the more likely your gut is going to get tired. It's going to get tired. It's going to get sick. And at some point, it's going to say, time out, time out. I'm not feeling good. Something's going on here. So I mentioned the leaky gut. It's substances leak through your small intestines and back into your bloodstream. That's what happens with leaky gut. And we don't want that to happen. Again, the symptoms are clear: gas, bloating, cramps, food sensitivities, aches, and pains. If you have been experiencing any of this for a long period of time, you definitely need to get checked. Okay. Other things, another common issue with leaky gut is people get diagnosed with celiac disease and Crohn's disease. Celiac is an allergy to gluten. Okay. If you have celiac, you have to do a specific test for celiac and test for that. And usually it's a blood test. Sometimes they go inside and they do a test that way, but it's very crucial that people stay away from gluten when they have celiac. It can make them very, very, very sick. Crohn's disease is a disease where basically someone, how do I say it pleasantly? Crohn's is also it's an inflammatory condition of the guts, basically. I'll say the guts, intestines. A lot of people run to the bathroom a lot. They have blood in their stool, and they don't know why. They don't know why. Crohn's disease always has an underlying condition or an underlying reason why. There's always a root behind it. It doesn't just happen. And you can't just say, oh, well, my grandma had it. It's in the family. Genes play a very small percentage, guys, of the diseases that we acquire. Very small percentage. Okay. It's up to us in our diet and our lifestyle to make sure that these things do not pass down to us. And if you know of a past family member that has something, it's even more important to do early detection of things, right? So, okay, I talked about earlier just about the gluten increases also the intestinal permeability of leaky gut. So when I was talking earlier about gluten and how should you stay off gluten or not stay off gluten, up to you, but it does increase that intestinal permeability. It does. It's basically gluten is a binder in breads and wheat. It's not wheat. There's wheat and there's gluten. There's two different things. So gluten is like a binder, and it's hard for our intestines to break down. And so that's why a lot of people start developing allergies. And once they stop ingesting gluten, they notice they feel a ton better. I know I do when I don't eat gluten. I feel so much better. My joints, everything, I feel so much better. And if you're interested in doing like a gluten-free diet and need some guide with that, I'll definitely can guide you on that. Again, eliminate or reduce gluten in your diet. If you want to start feeling better, if you're experiencing gas, bloating, anything kind of thing of those symptoms that we mentioned above, constipation, diarrhea, reduce your gluten. Start out with a week. Just don't do any breads, don't do any gluten. And you got to look at labels too, guys, because a lot of stuff has gluten in it. So really, really watch your gluten and see how you feel. It may or may not be a thing for you, but I challenge you to try it. Also, another thing you can do is obviously drink plenty of water. Most of us are dehydrated. That's why I'm drinking this. People are like, I drink water all day long. Great, great, great. But do you monitor it? Do you write it down? Do you actually track your water? If you do, awesome. But most people don't. We don't drink enough water. And water, what does water do? It puts, it puts hydration in us for one, but it also makes things flow easier throughout the pipes, guys. And so we don't get constipated. Okay. Also, another thing you can do is start decreasing your highly processed foods that we mentioned and the sugar. Right now, we're in the holidays. This is the month of December here where I'm recording this, and there's so much sugar. There's so much going to happen in the next couple weeks through the New Year's. All of that is going to make your gut a mess. Alcohol has sugar in it too, so watch your alcohol consumption as well. And if you do consume sugar, I'm sure I'm going to consume sugar. It's fine, but just be aware of it, right? Be aware that this might be a thing for you. So we can also talk about doing some gut cleanses into the new year. If you're interested in that, let me know, because we can do that together too. Also, consume organic foods as possible, and just wash your foods with the pesticides and things like that. In general, in the months of December, winter months, we don't get as much easily fresh fruits, you know, from the markets and the farmers. So you're going to get it from the store. So you don't know where it's been. So you definitely want to wash that. Okay. Right. Okay. Just looking at my time here. Also, consume high fiber foods, dark green leafy veggies, and fermented foods. There's a caveat to that. If you are experiencing high histamine, I do not suggest fermented foods. That's another topic of discussion. But green leafy foods, veggies, excuse me, and high fiber foods are also really great ways to control have a good microbiome as well. Now, also, there's another caveat. A lot of doctors will just say, oh, increase your fiber for your tummy. That's not always a fix-all. That's not always. There's a whole nother science behind fiber. And that's usually the go-to of your GI specialist is, oh, drink more water and add more fiber, right? That's not always going to work. Okay. That's not always going to work. And the probiotics, they're not always going to work. Those are the go-tos, but no, that's why we need to get to the root of what's really going on, because it actually can exacerbate it and make it worse. So we don't want that. Okay. So also simple ways to maintain your gut: contain good probiotics, eat your food, eat good probiotics, like the yogurt, watch the sugar. Those will be good for you. Overall, your diet is what's important, right, guys? Exercising can change the composition actually of your gut microbiome. Did you know that? So when you're moving and grooving stuff, it's going to make everything moving also in this area in your tummy. So if you are experiencing constipation, go walk, go for a walk. Make sure you are moving. Stretching, planks are really good. There's so many things you can do that can help with the composition of your gut microbiome today. This is completely free information, right? Things you can start doing, like, I didn't know that. Yes. Other things: stress management, also serotonin is made in the gut. So if you are experiencing some not sleeping good, if you're stressed out, your serotonin is producing in the gut, and your dopamine. So those are going to be greatly affected and because of your gut. So if you're stressed, your gut's going to be off. Bottom line, it just happens, right? What happens when we get anxious and everything like that? We get stressed, or sometimes I'm like, oh, I had a tummy ache, or I have to run to the bathroom, right? Your gut's not stupid. It's going to do that. It's going to do that. Oops. Clicking too many buttons there. So sleep also is a big deal, right? There's a connection between poor sleep, and the bacterial environment of your gut. So getting that proper sleep is going to help cortisol. It's going to help lower that cortisol level so the gut can repair itself. Let me back up. So cortisol, we all produce cortisol. That's our stress hormone. When we get stressed, it shoots up. And then we store belly fat, and we don't like it. And women, as we hit menopause, perimenopause, more cortisol means less estrogen. We don't want that. So it's going to affect your sleep. So making sure lowering your cortisol and keeping your cortisol checked. If you need to get your cortisol checked, visit me and talk to me. We can talk about getting that done for you. Okay. Another thing that I love, this is the most simplest thing you can do, is eat slow and chew your food. Guys, we eat our food so fast, like within 10 minutes. Everybody does. I have a challenge. It's called the 20-minute meal that I do with my clients. And it's funny. You set a timer, check your food, and guess what? It'll surprise you how fast you eat your food with your family. It's actually a fun family challenge. If you're interested, let me know. So it takes roughly 20 minutes from the brain to recognize, oh, we're eating, to get to the stomach for digestion to start. So the slower you eat and chew your food, put your fork down in between bites, it's also going to help your gut. Okay. Also going to help that. And let me back up one thing. Also, you produce amylase and digestive enzymes in your mouth. So when you chew your food, you're producing that natural amylase and those natural prebiotics that we need in our gut, okay, that help us break down the foods. Another fun fact, we break down our carbohydrates up here, guys. We break down our proteins in our stomach and our fats in our small intestine. So if you ever ate a fatty food and the next thing you know, you're running to the bathroom, that's why, because it's going right to your small intestine. That's where fats are broken down. Ever eaten a heavy steak or heavy meal, it's going to sit rock hard in your stomach. That's why, because the protein is being digested there. So the more we chew our food, it's going to break it down further. Okay. Okay, so just a quick recap. Our gut is responsible for putting our body into work order. We know that our gut absorbs nutrients that support our body's function. You can heal your gut through proper diet, exercise, managing your stress, and getting enough sleep. You can. And also reaching out to your health coach, your functional nutritional practitioner, and doing further testing as well is what I would encourage. If you are experiencing these for longer periods of time, 3-6 months, you need to look at other things that are going on. We can muscle test you. We can do some oat tests. We can do different testing for you. And that leads me into asking you these questions. If you've had these symptoms, for a while in your life, then what are you waiting for, right? What can we do about them? You can definitely start today incorporating all these things that I talked about. You can work with me. I do have some programs too that also help with this for long periods of time if you're looking for some long-term support. So just think about a minute about how your life could be better if you didn't experience these symptoms, right? They're very debilitating. I had them for years. I didn't know it was related to Lyme disease, a little bacteria bug that was in my gut and causing so much pain and so many problems. So getting to the root cause of your gut health is so important. And I'm here to tell you that some of the tests that the colonoscopy and endoscopy, they may not, and they probably will not get to the root cause so much. And they will rule things out right there. They can rule some things out, but it's not the whole picture. And I know this because I was one of those people that I had an endoscopy, a couple of colonoscopies. I had so many gut issues. Nothing. They'd said I'm fine. I had a little bit of diverticulitis. Don't eat seeds and nuts, blah, blah, blah. But what was really the problem wasn't the food. It was something that was going on in my gut that needed to be fixed and repaired. So, yes. So go ahead and use this information I shared with you. I hope you got some nuggets of information out of this to help you start feeling and get better right now. If you want things to expedite a little bit faster, you could also sign up for my root cause readiness program that I do have available for those that are interested. This is my system that I use to get my own body back, and it's improved my digestive system. You can go from surviving. We don't need to just survive anymore, right, guys? We need to thrive. You are worth it. You're worthy of having good working order gut, a good working order system, stomach. You're so worth it. And one of the things that I did is I created this root cause readiness program for people that are like so sick and tired of going to the doctor, not getting answers, not feeling good. And so this is something that I've put together. If you're interested in this, again, you can reach out to me just for watching this video today. This is some of what the program includes, some testing. You get sessions, you get a meal plan, a protocol, you get a customized supplement nutrient plan. We go through cleanse and detox therapies, and I also do lab and blood work review. So it's a complete program to you figure out what's going on with your gut finally, once and for all, and get to feeling better too. It's not like I just say, oh, this, and then we let you go. I actually walk you through the steps, everything that I went through to get my body better as well. So if this is something you are interested in doing today, or in the next 30 days, let me know. It's normally runs $9.97. But for anybody watching this over the next 48 hours, I'm actually offering a $150 discount. Yay, excited. So jump on that. You have to comment root cause readiness. I'm ready, or I'm ready below. And yeah, and we can get you going on the right steps. So these are a couple of my testimonials. Some people, Elma was one of my favorite people. Just to let you know, other people, she spent 30 years, and she came to me with her arms crossed, and she was like, you're not going to help me. And we figured her out, and she's doing wonderful. She's doing wonderful. I'm not saying I'm a magician by any means, but the bottom line is what we had to do is get to the root cause, and no one was getting to her root cause. And that's the key, is finding out what is the stem of everything causing the pain. She was in so much pain, you guys. Okay. All right. So anyways, if you want to get started now with me, you can also just book a free consultation call, sign up for the root cause readiness. These are the three things you can do now. Also join my Facebook group. And you can also watch the replay of this. Okay. So that is all for tonight. And I am going to jump off here. And if anybody has any questions, you can put your questions in the chat box below. And I look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. My name is Tavia, and have a good night, guys.